Your heart is becoming more capable of giving and receiving love from a healthier place. And you're learning that emotional fulfillment doesn't come from chasing people or seeking validation. It comes from living in alignment with your values and allowing relationships that truly nourish your soul to come forward. Okay? So Spirit's reminding you that your capacity to love is not your weakness. It's one of your greatest strengths. And as your heart chakra continues to open and heal, you'll naturally begin attracting relationships or experiences and opportunities that reflect the love you've been cultivating within yourself. Spirit is saying there's a new opportunity wanting to enter your life, you know? And instead of asking, what if everything goes wrong? Spirit is encouraging you to ask, what if something beautiful is trying to begin? Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sacred Season Healing. Today's reading is focused on the heart chakra. It's the energy center of love, compassion, forgiveness, emotional healing, connection, and self-love. Okay? If this message finds you at the right time, trust that there may be something here your soul needs to hear today. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and remember these are general collective messages. Okay? So let's see what Spirit wants us to know today. The first question I'd like to ask Spirit, what is the current energy surrounding the collective's heart chakra today? What is the current energy, Spirit, surrounding the collective's heart chakra today? Okay. What is the current energy? Thank you, Spirit. The Fool card. Is there anything else? The Two of Pentacles. Anything else, Spirit? Okay. The next question I'd like to ask Spirit is, what emotional wound, fear, or blockage is Spirit encouraging the collective to acknowledge, heal, or release? What emotional wound, fear, or blockage, Spirit, are you encouraging the collective to acknowledge, heal, or release? Please show us clearly. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, we have the Eight of Swords. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, the Page of Pentacles. Anything else? Okay. And the last question I'd like to ask for this first half of the reading is, Spirit, what strength, gift, or quality within the collective's heart is ready to grow, open, and shine more fully? Please show us clearly, Spirit. What strength, gift, or quality? Okay, we have the Ten of Cups. Within the collective's heart is ready to grow, open, or shine more fully. Anything else? Nope. Okay, let's take a look at Spirit's message here. Okay, so the current energy surrounding the collective's heart chakra is the Fool and the Two of Pentacles. So the energy surrounding the collective today feels like many of you are standing at the beginning of a brand new chapter. Okay? Spirit is encouraging you to trust yourself enough to take the first step towards something new. And for some of you, this could be a new relationship. It could be a new friendship, a fresh opportunity. It could be a new career path, or simply just choosing a healthier way of loving yourself. Okay? At the same time, the Two of Pentacles tells me many of you are still going back and forth. Part of you is excited about what's possible, while another part of you is asking, am I really ready? Or what if this doesn't work out? Okay, so you may feel like you're trying to balance your heart with your fears and your past with your future, or even your comfort zone with the unknown, right? But Spirit's message is that it's okay if you don't have every detail figured out. Sometimes healing begins with one small step of faith rather than having all the answers, okay? And then with question 2, we asked, what emotional wound, fear, or blockage is Spirit encouraging the collective to acknowledge, heal, or release? And we got the 8 of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. So many of you may be replaying old conversations in your mind, wondering if you said the wrong thing, analyzing text messages, questioning your decisions, or imagining worst case scenarios that haven't even happened yet, okay? So for others, this could look like just constantly wondering whether someone truly loves or values you, okay? Or replaying painful memories from a past relationship. It could be feeling afraid to trust someone because you've been hurt before, It could be for some of you believing you're not good enough, or that you're always just being disappointed. Or even convincing yourself that it's safer not to take a chance than to risk getting hurt again, okay? Now, the 8 of Swords, it reminds us that many of these fears aren't necessarily our present reality. They're old stories our mind continues to repeat because they once helped protect us, But then we have the Page of Pentacles, and Spirit saying there's a new opportunity wanting to enter your life. This could be a relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be personal growth, it could be a career opportunity, or simply a healthier way of relating to yourself, okay? But if your attention stays locked on fear, regret, or self-doubt, you may overlook what's quietly trying to grow right in front of you, all right? So instead of asking, what if everything goes wrong, Spirit is encouraging you to ask, what if something beautiful is trying to begin? Okay? All right. And then with the next question, we asked what strength, gift, or quality within the collective's heart is ready to grow, open, or shine more fully. And we got the 10 of Cups. That's absolutely beautiful. I love seeing this card here because the 10 of Cups tells me that underneath all of that fear, that doubt, and overthinking, your heart still desires love, joy, peace, and meaningful emotional connections. So that part of you hasn't disappeared. It simply wants permission to come forward again. Okay? So many of you have done a tremendous amount of healing, right? Even if you don't always recognize it. Your heart is becoming more capable of giving and receiving love from a healthier place. And you're learning that emotional fulfillment doesn't come from chasing people or seeking validation. It comes from living in alignment with your values and allowing relationships that truly nourish your soul to come forward. Okay? So Spirit's reminding you that your capacity to love is not your weakness. It's one of your greatest strengths. And as your heart chakra continues to open and heal, you'll naturally begin attracting relationships or experiences and opportunities that reflect the love you've been cultivating within yourself. Okay? So I also think these first messages here in this first half of the reading, that I see it like a very strong emotional arc. It's like Spirit is saying there's a new opportunity wanting to enter your life, And instead of asking, what if everything goes wrong, Spirit is encouraging you to ask, what if something beautiful is trying to begin? That's beautiful right there. Okay? So, before we move into the second half of this reading, I'd like to invite you to pause for just a moment and reflect on what has come forth so far, okay? And I'm going to give you some journal questions that you might want to reflect on later. You can journal about them, or you can just simply sit in meditation quietly and reflect on one question at a time and see what comes up. Okay, remember the answers are always within ourselves, not outside of ourselves. Okay, so here's the first question: where in my life am I being invited to take a leap of faith, but fear or overthinking is holding me back? What old story, limiting belief, or past experience am I ready to release so I can move forward with a more open heart? What would change in my life if I trusted myself just a little bit more? And how can I create more emotional peace, love, and fulfillment from within instead of looking for it outside of myself? Okay? Now, if you enjoy journaling, I would encourage you to write down whatever thoughts, emotions, or insights came up during these first 3 questions, okay? Sometimes Spirit continues speaking long after the reading is over through our own reflections, okay? All right, and if this reading is resonating with you so far, please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone who may need this message today, okay? Every like, comment, and share helps these healing messages reach more people, and it helps our Sacred Season Healing community continue to grow. So thank you so much for being here, okay? Now, the next question I asked Spirit, again, off camera, to save a little bit of time, you know, instead of watching all the shuffling and all of that, I asked Spirit what truth, healing perspective, or shift in mindset will help the collective open and strengthen their heart chakra, okay? And what we got was the 3 of Cups, the 6 of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. Okay, I hope you can see all of those in the video. So the healing perspective Spirit's offering today is that your life isn't over because one chapter ended, okay? The 3 of Cups reminds us that healing doesn't always happen in isolation. Sometimes healing happens when we reconnect with joy, spending time with friends, laughing again. Laughter is a very good healing tool. Celebrating life's small moments, trying to, just try out things that are new, or simply allowing ourselves to enjoy the present without feeling guilty. I'll give you an example. One thing I've been thinking about lately, and it came up in a conversation I just had yesterday with someone, is the comedy club. I don't know if you have comedy clubs, around the area where you live, but I just said to the person, I have not been to one of those in years. But I thought to myself after talking about it that, you know what, maybe that's something that I can do soon. Maybe ask a friend to go with me, because I do need a little more laughter in my life. It might be some good healing for me. So anyway, it might be something you want to consider, okay? Now, we also have the 6 of Cups, right? And I don't necessarily see this as saying to live in the past, right? Instead, I think Spirit is acknowledging that those memories are part of your story. So it's okay to remember the good times, and it's okay to appreciate what you've learned. But don't let nostalgia convince you that your best days are behind you, okay? The past can be honored without allowing it to keep you stuck, okay? Now, the Queen of Pentacles, it shows the beautiful life that you're creating for yourself, because she's grounded, confident, she's nurturing, she's emotionally mature, and she knows how to create stability from within rather than depending on someone else to provide it, okay? So Spirit is reminding you that as you continue healing, you're becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts healthier relationships, stronger friendships, and greater emotional security. Okay, so finally we have the Page of Swords here. So it says, stay curious about your future instead of assuming it will look like your past, okay? So be willing to learn and observe the opportunities that are showing up around you, all right? Ask questions, explore new experiences, keep an open mind, because life may have something even better planned than you have ever thought of, or than what you've been holding on to. Okay. All right. I'll put these back down here. Now, the next question I asked was, what is the most important message Spirit wants the collective to remember as they continue healing and opening their heart? And we have the 10 of Pentacles. This is such a beautiful confirmation, because it's like Spirit wants you to remember that healing isn't just about recovering from the past. It's about creating a future that feels safe and abundant, peaceful, and emotionally fulfilling. Okay? The 10 of Pentacles, it reminds us that lasting happiness is built one choice at a time. So every time you choose self-respect over settling, or every time you choose healthy boundaries, every time you choose healing instead of repeating old patterns, you're building a life that's rooted in stability, love, security, and abundance. Okay? So have confidence that what you're building is worth the effort. Spirit wants you to know that your future has the potential to be far greater than anything you have had to leave behind. Okay? Then I asked, what blessing, opportunity, relationship, or emotional transformation is likely to unfold as the collective continues balancing and opening their heart chakra? And we got the Knight of Wands and the Four of Cups. So the blessing I see here is renewed passion for life. Okay? As your heart continues healing, you're going to begin feeling inspired to move forward again. And you'll have more confidence to pursue your goals and meet new people, travel, start new hobbies, or simply say yes to experiences that once felt out of reach. Okay? The emotional transformation comes through the Four of Cups. It's like Spirit is helping you release the tendency to focus on what's missing. That's these cups down here, So Spirit's helping you release that focus on what's missing, and instead noticing what's already being offered. Okay? So for some of you, this may look like, continuing to compare every new relationship to someone from your past, believing you've missed your chance at love or happiness, feeling discouraged because life hasn't unfolded according to your original plans. It could be for some of you that you're becoming so focused on, or that Spirit's helping you release the fact that you're, becoming so focused on one opportunity that you overlook several others, right, that are quietly appearing. So this is the emotional transformation that's happening that Spirit's helping you through. And even for some of you, just, staying emotionally closed off because you're afraid history will repeat itself, right? All of that's being released. Believing that because one door closed, no other meaningful doors will open. None of that. All of that. Spirit is helping you heal from that. Okay? And just remember, the Four of Cups, it reminds us that when we're only looking at what didn't work out, we can unintentionally miss the blessings that are right in front of us. Okay? So just try to redirect your thoughts when those thoughts start bubbling up, right? Okay. Now, and remember the Knight of Wands too. It encourages you to lift your eyes up off of those things that didn't work out. Trust your intuition and move forward with courage and enthusiasm, okay? Spirit's saying there are still adventures waiting for you, okay? Trust that. There's still meaningful connections waiting to be made, and there are still dreams waiting to be lived, okay? So don't let disappointment convince you that your story has already been written. Some of the most beautiful chapters of your life may still be ahead of you, okay? I also think, today's overall message, it's saying your heart wasn't meant to stay guarded forever. Honor the past, but don't let it keep you from joy, love, and opportunities that Spirit is placing in front of you today. Okay? All right. Before we close today's reading, I want to give you a few healing tools you can work with this week to continue opening and balancing your heart chakra. Okay? We'll begin with some affirmations. Here's the first one. I release the fears that no longer serve me. My heart is open to giving and receiving love. I trust that the right people and opportunities are finding their way to me. I honor my past, but I choose to live fully in the present. I am worthy of healthy, joyful, and fulfilling relationships. Okay? Some crystals. Rose quartz, it's for unconditional love and compassion. Green aventurine, it's for emotional healing and opening the heart. Or rhodonite for forgiveness and releasing past emotional wounds. Okay? Essential oils, you could try rose, geranium, jasmine, or bergamot. It can help promote emotional balance, self-love, and a sense of peace. Okay? Some healing frequencies. You could spend a few quiet moments listening to 639 hertz. It's a frequency often associated with love, compassion, harmony, and strengthening relationships. And then I'd also like to leave you with some self-care suggestions. This week, make time for something that genuinely brings your heart joy. For example, I gave you that example of going to the comedy club. I might consider doing that myself this week or maybe this coming weekend, okay? You could try meeting a friend for coffee. You could spend quality time with family. You could take a walk in nature, listen to your favorite music, dance in your living room or wherever in your house or outside if that's what you want to do. Create something artistic. You could just simply sit outside and appreciate the beauty around you. That's why I do these readings out here. I mean, there are so many birds around my house. I know you can hear that in the video. Sometimes they get so loud though, I wish they would just quiet down a little bit so it doesn't drown out the video, but whatever, we'll take it, right? So just remember, if you're carrying old hurts, consider writing a letter that you'll never send, okay? You could journal about what you're ready to release. You could make a gratitude list of the people, experiences, and blessings that are already present in your life. You know, just small acts of kindness toward yourself are powerful steps in healing your heart. Okay? So those are all just suggestions, of course. You take whichever ones resonate with you and leave the rest, okay? And in closing, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope the reading brought you some clarity, encouragement, and hope as you continue your healing journey. And if the message resonated with you, again, please consider liking this video, subscribe to Sacred Season Healing, and share it with someone who may need a little encouragement today, okay? Your support truly helps this community grow and allows these messages to reach those who need them most. So until next time, take gentle care of yourself, trust your heart, and remember that every step you take toward healing is also a step toward the love, joy, and life you deserve. Okay? I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.